Hi guys, welcome back. In the last video we discussed about how Codeigniter works. In this video we want to explain some files which are needed to be explained before we start building our application. But before that, I want to click on this model view controller. I have explained this in the last video, but I just want to show you. The model represents your data structures. Typically, your model's classes will contain functions that help you retrieve, insert, and update information in your database. I think I have explained this time without number. The view is the information that is being presented to a user. A view will normally be a web page, but in Codeigniter, a view can also be a page fragment like header, footer, navigation bar, dashboard, etc. The controller serves as an intermediary between the model, the views, and any other resources needed to process your HTTP request and generate a web page. Okay, so the purpose of Codeigniter is to maximize performance. The major focus or goal of Codeigniter is to maximize performance, capability, and flexibility in the smallest, lightest possible package. And that is why I have chosen Codeigniter. Okay, Codeigniter was actually created with the following objectives: dynamic instantiation. In Codeigniter, components are loaded and routines executed only when requested, rather than globally. No assumptions are made by the system regarding what may be needed beyond the minimal core resources. Loose coupling. Coupling is the degree to which components of a system rely on each other. Okay, so the goal was a very loosely coupled system. Okay, systems that is flexible, and the systems, okay, that becomes systems that is very flexible to use, and a systems that is reusable. Okay, reusing of a component. Okay, and component singularity. You can read all this. I am not good in using animation to present data. Okay, I prefer and I love reading. Okay, I read a lot. So guys, you can just take your time to go through all this. You can take your time to go through the tutorial and learn one or two things there. Okay, but basically I want to, excuse me, I want to open this. Actually, this is not what I want to open. I want to open a folder. Okay, sorry about this. Let's go back to where we are coming from, Codeigniter 11. Okay, so guys, click on application. We want to open config folders. I have explained controllers, models, and views. This is a folder where all logs are kept. Libraries, this is a folder where libraries, files, or plugins will be saved. Like when you want to integrate Stripe payment gateway, you need the library, you need the API. So those API will be kept inside the libraries. Don't worry, we are going to work on that. We are building a multilingual software. Because of that, we are going to be using this folder. So when you want to create more languages, okay, so they are kept inside the language folder. We have hooks, we have helpers. This helper, this is a folder where functions that will be needed, okay, in the views are kept. For example, you can create helper for a language, and you are only to call the function from our views. Don't worry, I don't want to make it too complex. You are going to learn by practical, not by theory. Okay, so by the time we start building, you will understand all this. Don't be scared, they are very simple to cope with. But I want to go to config. The meaning of config, we can call it configuration, to configure something. Now, the first thing is our autoload.php. What this autoload file does is that when you launch your application, you want to automatically load some component. Actually, I'm using Dreamweaver to open this. Okay, Dreamweaver is also text editor. I have it on my system. Okay, so guys, this you may want to autoload packages. Okay, you may want to autoload libraries like language, okay, language, Stripe, and some other plugins. You may want to autoload drivers. You may want to autoload helpers. When you create a file inside helper folder, you may want to autoload them. So to autoload, just say here, maybe manage language helper. Good. If you want to add more, put comma and add more like that. Okay, so for config, you may want to load some things there. We are going to touch all this. Same thing applies to language. That is for the autoload. Beautiful, right? If you want to go to config, this is where we need to configure some things there. This base URL, you are to set the path of your folder. For example, if I have in our local host, this is my folder here. Okay, you need to set the path that I am inside my folder is inside this. Okay, paste it. And don't forget to put your HTTP. Good. So you need to set the path that this is where my folder is kept. If you leave empty, Codeigniter has a way of routing itself, okay, to get the destination of your path. But it is advisable you set the path. But don't worry, we are going to use a PHP codes to automatically dictate the path of the software. Another thing that I want to explain here is our session. Let me go down. Good. You see, this session is very important. Okay, here, set cookie name, CI session. You need to create a table inside your database where all the sessions will be kept. Okay, and we are going to say that our session save path, we are going to make sure that we have it here like this. So we are going to create a table called CI session. When the time comes, you are going to understand what I'm saying. Okay, so that is that for now about config. Good. Let's go ahead and explain database. Okay, this database enables us to communicate with our database. You may be wondering, what is a database? A database is like a storage where tables are saved or are created. When the time comes, we are going to discuss about root, localhost root, password, and your database name. So we are going to link our database with our software Codeigniter inside this file. Okay, so let's quickly explain this route, and we are going to stop there. You see, this route, this is what I'm saying. This route defines your controller, the path that you want your software to follow. You can have as many routes as possible here. but I want to explain only this default controller. Because it is a default controller, it means that go to your controller and pick a file they call welcome. If we go to our application controllers welcome.php and open it, what we have there is that the welcome is what is loading our views. It means go to view folder, locate welcome underscore message.php inside this view and load it for us. Because of this load, this we are going to be using this. It is used to refer to the current object and to perform an action. This is a pointer dash greater than. This is a pointer, okay, and it's pointed to loads, and loads is pointed to view. If we go to application views folder, you are going to see welcome underscore message, and this is it. If I change here to welcome to ERP software and save it, if I go back to my browser and refresh, you are going to see welcome to ERP software. Can you now see how Codeigniter works? From route to our controller. From our controller, we are loading our view, which is our welcome message. We have not been communicating with our models because we don't have database. And don't forget that queries like insert, update, delete are performed inside models. Right now, we are just explaining how Codeigniter works. In the next video, we are going to integrate the HTML template we have downloaded and integrate it to our Codeigniter. By now, you should know that this is where all the PHP files will be saved for views for user to see. Okay, and we are going to load them from our controller, and we are going to determine the path from the route. So thank you guys. See you in the next tutorial. Bye.